Hello guys, this is Push Dustin from Source Gaming. Joining me today is Nantanjax
Hello.
and Ash Paulsen from Game Explain.
Hey there.
And today we're going to be talking about what stages we would like to see in a theoretical Smash for Switch. We'll be talking about return stages as well as new stages. So, the first stage that I think definitely needs to be there is some sort of Splatoon stage.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, with Splatoon 2 coming out for the Switch, and Splatoon 1 being such a huge hit, it would be a travesty if there was no Splatoon stage.
Yeah, I mean, even just straight up Inkopolis would be nice, but, even if they want to go for one of the, specific stages from Splatoon 1 or 2, they got to have a Splatoon stage in there, if not alongside the Inklings themselves. But Splatoon has become such an important franchise in Nintendo that it has to have some sort of representation in Smash Switch beyond Mii costumes.
Yeah.
Inkopolis Plaza seems like the most likely one, but I'd kind of like to see something from Octo Valley and use a bunch of the platforming elements from the story mode, like the wires with the ink going through them, or the fan moving platform, stuff like that. I think they could work together. Plus, you could have DJ Octavian pop in at points for, like, I don't know,
that would be
Hazard
cool.
Or a boss.
He's got to at least have a cameo.
Yeah.
I'd like to see the Splatfest going on in the stage, to be honest.
That could be cool.
What's the one stage with the water level that continuously recedes and I don't play that much Splatoon, so I don't know all the stages' names, but there's one where the water keeps going up and down and it changes where you can go in the stage.
It was a new stage, and I never really played it after it came out. It's
Okay.
the one in the pool, isn't it? There's like a big swimming pool by a hotel, I think. I think I remember seeing it.
That could be a fun hazard. It wouldn't be immediately, obviously, lethal, but having the water level go up and down and kind of messing up your movement and what you can do could be fun as a hazard.
Yeah, no, it could be interesting.
Nantanjax, do you want to come out with the next one?
Well, I guess if we're going off of brand new stages that seem obvious, I think a Breath of the Wild stage makes a lot of sense as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like, with it being this big brand new Zelda game that's been in development for God knows how long now. So I think
it seems strange.
Yeah, we use Swan Song and Switch's launch game. I think it makes a lot of sense to be represented in some fashion. I feel like, as it's such a big map, it needs to be either a moving stage or a really big level. I'm worried a bit about it being too big, like Great Cave Offensive, and
Yeah.
it's fun. But that, or like a moving stage on the Great Plateau or something, where you swap between
That's what I was
Temple of
thinking, the Great
Time
Plateau.
or the big Sheikah Tower and other places where Link, that cliff where Link comes out at the beginning. Like, they could all work pretty nicely for fighting stages.
Yeah, I think I'd want to see it more like, Woohoo Island, where the stage actually stops at various different kinds of terrain instead of Skyloft. Well, Skyloft also does, too, so it's hard to say. Because I feel like Great Plateau, if we're talking about it the way that it is now, I feel like it could be a little too similar to Skyloft. But at the same time, I really do think we need a Breath of the Wild stage. I mean, Breath of the Wild has become so important for Zelda, even in the context of other Zelda games. So it's got to have some sort of representation here.
With my thing is, I think that the Great Plateau stage or any kind of Breath of the Wild stage, it would have to kind of use the environment in some way, since the environment is such a huge part of Breath of the Wild. Like,
Absolutely.
maybe like trees falling over that fighters would have to avoid.
Yeah, maybe you can knock down trees.
Yeah, or I mean, maybe sometimes a guardian will, trample across the stage and shoot lasers. I can almost even see that in my mind's eye, like imagining a stage, and I can even see the guardian being like a stage hazard. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, you could have a part where if it's a moving stage and the platform comes down, you've got the guardians who are stuck in the ground. One could it could spot you, and it could be like the little reticle appears on the stage, a bit like Meta Knight's level.
Oh yeah,
that part, and then it can fire lasers that you have to avoid. That could be pretty fun.
That would be pretty cool.
Okay, Ash, do you have one?
Yes, and it's one that anyone who knows me at all will probably guess what I was going to say, but we need a Rhythm Heaven stage.
Yes.
We need one.
Yes.
It needs to happen. I've made peace with the idea that we're never going to get the Chorus Kids as a playable character, or maybe even a Rhythm Heaven character at all, but we at least need a stage with some really crazy, music selections from across the entire series. I haven't really thought about how this stage would actually play out, but I like to envision something like the Street Pass puzzle panel for Rhythm Heaven, Rhythm Heaven Fever, Like something like that with all these bombastic colors and all these Rhythm of Heaven characters making cool little cameos. And I really, really want to see a Rhythm of Heaven stage, however it needs to happen.
Yeah, I think a Rhythm Heaven stage makes a lot of sense. I wrote an article on a possible Rhythm Heaven stage, although it's not as bombastic and stuff as I'd like it to be, but it's centered around the idea that depending on what song comes up, the tempo of the song increases how quick or slow everything is, all the hazards and stuff are moving in the stage. Like there's conveyor belts and stuff, and they speed up or slow down depending on the rhythm of the song. Like there's no stage that does anything to do with the music really. The music's just there, and I think a Rhythm Heaven stage needs the music to play some kind of integral role in how the stage works.
Yeah, 100% agree.
Yeah, my idea would be just rotating through the mini games, so you'd have to like avoid the seals, for example, and then
so a WarioWare.
So kind of like a WarioWare take.
Yeah, kind of like a WarioWare stage.
Okay.
Okay. The next new stage that I think should be in there is kind of going off the same boat is Dr. Mario. A Dr. Mario stage would be, I think, a well-deserved addition to the roster.
Yeah, it was planned and removed, wasn't it? With the viruses being bosses.
Well, there's only data for the virus characters. There's no data for the actual stage itself, so it's just basically people drawing conclusion that there was a Dr. Mario stage.
Yeah, which makes sense, unless they were assist trophies or something. But...
No, the way that they were programmed, the database that they were in would have to be boss characters.
Okay.
I could see that being, kind of a fun, like, randomly generated type thing, like the Super Mario Maker stage, where you have, like, different layouts of viruses every time you select the stage, and I don't know how these viruses would necessarily affect the gameplay. That's something we can figure out, but definitely would have to be something where the viruses are different every time.
Yeah, and you could have pills potentially falling from the top of the screen. It depends how you want to get rid of the viruses, whether or not you can beat them up like actual bosses, or whether or not they're more like hazard type bosses, where if you touch them you get hurt.
Maybe you would actually have to like somehow move the pills, so that way it eliminates the virus.
Yeah. Maybe. I mean, you just kick the pills into the virus.
Yeah.
Well, how would you feel about working some Dr. Luigi elements into there, like the L-shaped pills and things like that?
It'd be cool. You got to figure out, I think, how it works first, getting the viruses.
Yeah.
Before you start adding really complicated looking pills.
Exactly. True.
Okay.
Okay. Nantenjex, do you want to go on the next one?
Yeah. So, I guess it's not going to happen, but I'd like to see a Box Boy stage in some fashion. I think that series has kind of gotten quite big for big in its context as an eShop game. The fact that it's getting an amiibo and has had this trilogy of games, people are quite excited about the new one. I think it's getting all three of them together as a bundle is getting like a physical release here in Japan.
Yes, that's correct.
Like it's a new IP that's kind of grown on people, and I'd like to see some kind of Box Boy representation and I don't know, a stage with random hazards with blocks just appearing and like disappearing and stuff. I think it could be interesting.
Yeah, especially if it was done in kind of a minimalist style like Dreamland on Smash 3DS.
Yeah.
If it was just done I think that could be really cool. Kind of like just have a very kind of very pop out, very 2D, kind of like a Flat Zone almost. But I think that could work. I have not played the Box Boy series myself. I tend to shy away from a lot of puzzle games, but I know it's obviously really blown up. So I think it should, if not an assist trophy, I think a stage would be cool.
Get QB in there somehow.
Yeah.
Is that his name actually?
Yeah,
QB?
his name's QB.
Oh, okay. All right, Ash.
Okay, so I'm going to buck the trend here a little bit. Instead of a completely new stage, I'm still a little salty about the fact that Mega Man only got one stage, and it's a crappy stage. So I want a new Mega Man stage that sets itself apart from Smash 3DS's Wily Castle or whatever. I just want, I don't know, it's never gonna happen. But man, like Sonic has Green Hill Zone and Windy Hill Zone. Pac-Man has Pac-Maze and Pac-Land. Mega Man gets Wily Castle at night and Wily Castle during the day, and they both have the Yellow Devil, and they both suck. So I just want like Dr. Light's Laboratory or something. Maybe you can see Mega Man, or Roll and Otto and Tango and everyone just kind of running around in the background and causing chaos in Dr. Light's lab, and Wily can pop in and, I don't know, laugh. I don't know. I want something from Mega Man that isn't Wily Castle, at least as it exists now.
Mm-hmm.
Do the highway from Mega Man X, the first level.
Yeah, I mean, if we're doing from all series, that could be a conversation in itself if we're talking about every Mega Man series. But yeah, I always, obviously, I'm super happy with how Mega Man got treated in Smash, but I was always a little salty that he was the only third-party character who only got one stage, and it wasn't even a good one. So I would love to see them go back to the drawing board for a new Mega Man stage, but I know it's never going to happen.
I'd like to see it as well, Yellow Devil and whole Dr. Wily. It makes it just not fun to use.
Yeah.
It's a bit like, I'm not a big fan of Pac-Maze either on the 3DS because of the ghosts and stuff that move around in it. Well, actually, and Pac-Man,
Yeah.
I think Pac-Man got pretty shitty stages as well, but at least he got 2 shitty stages.
That's true, I guess. Yeah.
Hey,
I feel like
Pac-Man
the
was
ghosts
fun.
Yeah, like I feel like the ghosts and Pac-Maze aren't quite as disruptive as the Yellow Devil, but I definitely see where you're coming from.
Yeah, no, Yellow Devil's far
No,
worse.
and then when you turn it on Omega or the Omega version, you lose the cool platforms. I love the Mega Man 2, Mega Man 1-esque platforms in that stage, but you got to have both or none, and I'd just rather have none.
Okay, the next stage I would say is I'd like to see a stage from New Donk City, from Mario Odyssey. It's a little too early, but I think some representation from the new Mario game would be, it would fit in.
Can we get realistic people as stage hazards?
Yeah.
That all wearing the same weird Michael Jackson-esque outfit.
Yeah.
It's just so weird that they all wear the same outfit.
And the taxi cabs, and you can
Yeah.
jump on them. Yeah.
That'd be... I think it's a bit early for a Super Mario Odyssey stage, but... Yeah, it's strange, and it is different from other Mario levels. Could work.
Yeah, I mean, it does seem like if it was going to be, if there was going to be a Super Mario Odyssey stage, that it would be New Donk City, since that seems to be really the iconic location from that game. Yeah.
I feel like if they do that level, I kind of like to see it higher up. Like, don't make it a walk-off stage. I haven't seen a lot, because obviously the game's not out yet, and they've only shown off bits and bobs of it. But, I think there's a part where there's, like, a construction site, and I think that would really hit home the whole Donkey Kong theme going on with that level.
Right.
Just have it on, like, moving platforms up at the top with, girders and stuff like that, and then you can knock people down below. I know, less walk-off stages like I want to see.
Okay, Nintendex?
Alright, so I'm not going to go for a completely new level this time around. I think I'm going to take a returning level that wasn't in Smash for Wii U. And I want to see Summit from Brawl, because I want one Ice Climber level at least to come back. Like, it's a shame that the series it lost its character, but I don't think that was any reason to completely cut anything to do with the series whatsoever from the game. Like, it lost both. There were no returning stages and no new stages for that game either. And I think out of the 2 old stages we've got, Summit's the least offensive. So I'd like to see that. I'd like to see that stage come back.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was going to say. I'm not the biggest fan of Summit, but I really am not the biggest fan of Icicle Mountain. So, you know what? If we have to have one or the other, and I would like to have one of them, Summit seems like the best choice by far. And I think that's what we'll get. Let's just say Smash for Switch happens, which it obviously is going to eventually. Let's say Ice Climbers do come back. I think Summit's going to be the stage we get with them.
Yeah. I think they've exhausted the possibility for new stages in Ice Climbers just because there wasn't a whole lot to go from to begin with.
Yeah.
And so it just makes sense to rely on the returning stages now.
Yeah, and Summit was might have been planned for Melee, because they had that
Yes, they did.
Summit name in Melee.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
Which wouldn't have been a shocker, seeing as every other series got 2 stages.
Yeah, Sakurai had the front and back stage concept with Melee.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's just Game & Watch and Ice Climbers that got left out, probably because they're the classic oldest with not much games to pull from.
Right.
Okay, Ash, do you want to come up with the next one?
Yeah, so I'm going to cheat a bit this time and say I want... obviously, Midgar is going to return, but I want Midgar to return with more than 2 songs. Like, I want Midgar as a fully fleshed out stage with, like, this is Final Fantasy we're talking about. And we got the FF7 boss theme and the battle theme, both of which are great. But, again, this is Final Fantasy. You have just an incredible, rich mine of music to take, just put 10, 12 songs in there. And I'm sure they would just because of licensing costs, but I would really like to see Midgar make a return with a proper selection of Final Fantasy music.
Yeah, I want music outside of Final Fantasy VII as well. I want Final Fantasy VI theme, I want one of the Chocobo themes, but think the one from 4 is the better one. I'm trying to remember now. It's been a while. But
Yeah.
I want the good Chocobo theme. And you can even throw in some Final Fantasy 15 music in there, seeing as that's the new one. And they did similar stuff with Snake in Brawl with Metal Gear Solid 4 songs, because that was the newest one.
See, now you got me thinking about playing Smash to Apocalypsis Noctis, and I can't. That would be amazing. See, like, as much as I felt bad even complaining, because, hey, we got Cloud in Smash, and we got Midgar, this is the coolest thing ever, and this game is an embarrassment of riches. But I'm not gonna lie, I was crushed when I downloaded Midgar and found there were only 2 songs. I was like, this really is unfortunate. Like, I'm genuinely disappointed here.
Yeah. On that topic, I kind of like to see more Street Fighter songs as well, seeing as all we got was Ryu's theme and Ken's theme. And
Yeah,
just
you gotta have
remixes
Guile's
of them.
theme. You have to have
Suddenly,
Guile's theme.
What's going on?
Yeah. You gotta, I mean, it's a fighting game. You gotta have Guile's theme in there. So that was my my little cheat answer there.
Okay. For my next stage, it's kind of like a retro stage in a way. It'd be the Genie and Captain Syrup fight from Wario Land 1. I think that would make a great stage.
That's a real throwback, that.
Yeah.
It really is. Wow.
Yeah.
So it'd be a new stage, but it'd be like in that same Wario Land 1 style.
But it'd give Wario a Wario Land stage.
Yeah. Which he really
I think
needs.
is key, seeing as so far the only series of his to be represented is the WarioWare one, which I know a lot of fans are salty about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think that'd be good. I was kind of hoping they'd get a Super Mario Land stage in the 3DS version.
That would have been really nice.
Yeah, and we got shafted for, I guess, Kirby Dream Land and
Yes.
Super Mario 3D Land instead.
Yes.
But oh well. New stages then. I'd like to see only because it's been on my mind recently, a Wonderful 101 stage. I think that could have been quite cool. Like, if we're talking about new Wii U series, the only one I can really think of after Splatoon was Wonderful 101. And I think that like stages, it'd have to be a moving stage. I imagine it's something a bit like Orbital Assault, I think it's called, the Star Fox one, but not nearly as well. I can't say that for sure that it wouldn't nearly be as annoying as that stage. But the whole point is that it's a big alien invasion on this massive city, and so I'm thinking like they fly in on the Virgin Victory, the ship, and then they got the giant robot that you fight on its arm. So they can drop you off some buildings and then drop you off later on the giant robot arm, and it's a kind of quasi boss fight where you can damage him, but you're avoiding his attacks while trying to fight each other. I think it's really chaotic, but it represents that game very well.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's something to be said for chaotic stages. I don't think very few people want to see a Smash with only boring tournament legal stages. I welcome the chaos. So yeah, definitely. If they're going to add some new stuff to Smash Switch, they should balance out the safe, competitively safe editions with some real chaotic stages too.
Yeah.
I know one of the issues that people had with the Smash for Wii U stage list was the fact that a lot of them were just either too big or not very competitive, or not viable for competitiveness.
Yeah. And I think that's mainly because of 8-player Smash. I mean, they needed to make the stages bigger to fit that, I feel like.
Right.
Okay, Ash, do you want to come up with the next one?
Yeah, so I'm thinking I really want to see either... Okay, so either or. I want to either see the Paper Mario stage make the transition from Smash 3DS, or I want a full-on stage from Paper Mario Color Splash. I'm not going to lie, I know that game is controversial, but I'm still playing through it, and it is so charming, and there's so many wonderful locations and charming little characters from that game they could use. I mean, I don't know if you guys have played it, but I've already said I want Shun Guy in Smash. I want Shun Guy at least as an assist trophy, if not a full playable character. I love that guy. So get Shun Guy in there, but yeah, let's get a stage, a Paper Mario Color Splash, or just a Paper Mario stage. We need Paper Mario presence.
Nah, I loved Color Splash. I think I'd love to see... I don't know what level we were talking about this... I think in the Source Gaming chat a few weeks ago, like which part of Color Splash would make a good level. Like, do you choose the early part, do you choose the main port, or do you choose one of the more out of there levels, like the train, or the pirate ship, or the circus?
Yeah.
Like, I'm just trying to think what would...
There's so many good...
There's a lot of good locales for it, so...
I mean, Port Prisma in the midst of Bowser's initial attack with like all these slurp guys running around trying to suck color up, and they attack your characters and they attack your characters with straws. I think that could be so much fun.
Yeah, that could be really good, actually.
I'd like to see the fan make an appearance though.
That would be cool. Yeah, I mean, you got to have a few things make an appearance, and well, whether it's in Port Prisma or not, you got to have the Port Prisma theme in there because that song is so good.
The next stage that I'd like to see is kind of like a stage from Wave Race. It's like an IP that's not really well represented at all in Smash.
That's a random.
I would love that. I miss Wave Race so much.
And like there's no. I mean, they got a couple of trophies in Melee, I think, and then.
So, what do you mean? There's that part in Woohoo Island where you go down and they're jet skiing past you. It's pretty much all you.
We just really need a new Wave Race game.
Yeah, on that top.
Yeah.
Wave Race or 1080 snowboarding.
Yeah,
I think.
1080 would be similar.
It's like
either one of those I would love.
I think there's like a lack of ice stages, and I guess on that theme, Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze level could be quite cool. Like, it starts off like, it can either start off normal and then it freezes over as the stage goes on, or the reverse. I guess it could cycle through it. So it starts off frozen but eventually thaws out, and then maybe a volcano erupts in the background and thaws it all out. Something like that. I think I was a bit disappointed when we didn't get the Tropical Freeze stage. We just got a generic jungle level as per the norm for Donkey Kong.
Yeah. I agree. I think Donkey Kong. I feel like Sakurai plays way too safe with the Donkey Kong levels. Like, Donkey Kong can be so much more than jungle, and we've seen that borne out across now 5 different Donkey Kong Country titles. We can do better than a jungle.
Yeah, and also Metroid with lava, like that's a little bit overplayed.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, actually, that was gonna lead me into it is my turn, right?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So that was my perfect segue. I was gonna say I agree that we need more ice levels, and Metroid needs some love. So let's get Phendrana Drifts in there from Metroid Prime. I'd love an ice Metroid level.
Yeah, I was going to say, a lot of people really like that part of the game. Is it because of the music? I feel like it's just solely based around the music in that
I think it's kind of... I'd say it's probably a combination of the music and just the fact that it's a very beautiful landscape. You know, you've spent the whole game up to that point in these kind of darker, murkier areas and kind of more, like pallid areas. Like with the Chozo Ruins, it's all brown and orange and, dusty. And then you suddenly emerge into this beautiful crystalline ice world, and it's like, wow, that's kind of a really memorable part of that game.
Yeah, no, actually, that's fair. See, I've always got weird memories of that because I don't like the giant, I can't remember what they call the enemies that look like just icicles, and then they're just nothing but mouth, basically.
Oh, those things are creepy. I don't know what they're called, but I know what you're talking about.
I used to not like them when I was younger playing Metroid Prime.
Oh, I don't blame you. Yeah.
But if we are to get one of Phendrana, whatever I can't pronounce it, drifts to level, then I think one of them could be a hazard or something, like icicles that are just in the stage, so, and then if you get near to, like, say there's 2 and you don't know which one is just an icicle and which one is a creature, and so it's a guessing game, basically. I think that could be funny.
I guess for the next stage I'd like to come back is Fountain of Dreams. I don't think it's very controversial at all. I think everyone really wants it back.
Totally. Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you have? Yeah. It's actually kind of strange in Smash Wii U. Smash Wii U gave Brawl so much love in terms of its returning stages, but Melee didn't really get a whole lot, and Fountain of Dreams seemed like such an obvious one to return.
I feel like that's because I think a lot of the Melee stages got given to Smash for 3DS instead.
True.
That was the one that got the Star Fox and the Metroid stage coming back, and the Donkey Kong stage coming back.
I guess less work for assets.
Yeah, plus I think, like I said, Brawl stages are bigger, I think. So they made more sense with 8-player Smash than the Melee stages, which are about the same as Smash 64 in size.
Yeah.
But no, I want to see just more Melee stages come back in general. I think the Corneria and Brinstar and stuff will probably make the jump from 3DS to Wii U because they're such iconic levels.
I really hope so. Like, I if we don't get Corneria from 3DS and / Melee, I want to see either that or Sector Z, just because we really need a great Fox stage.
Yes.
Like a big, great Fox stage.
Yeah, I'd like to see Sector Z just because it's never come back before.
Yeah, I think I'd almost even take that before Corneria, because we've seen Corneria come back so many times, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I don't know, I kind of miss Sector Z.
Yeah, I think the same for the Metroid. The Metroid level in Smash 64 is very similar to the other one, so I'd like to see that as well. And Yoshi's stage. I want to see Yoshi's story stage, because they've been a lot nicer than the Yoshi's Island stages we've got.
Yeah, although I will say I actually do have a soft spot for the Brawl version of Yoshi's Island. I really like the changing seasons and the music. I don't know, I always did like that stage.
It's nice. I feel like it's just a bit too plain for my life.
It is.
Especially when you got the 2 Animal Crossing stages already that are nearly the same layout, just with the moving platform instead of a static one.
That's a good point.
Wait, whose turn is it now, Push? Yours?
I think it's your turn.
My turn?
Technically, yeah.
Okay, well, we were talking about returning stages. May as well do another obvious one. I want Magicant to come over from the 3DS stage game. It's technically a returning stage.
Like, it's not even a question. If I had to cherry pick one stage from 3DS, it may actually be that one.
Yeah. It's like, it's a brand new stage. They didn't use any assets from before, so who knows? They could have, I doubt they planned it for Smash for Wii U and then just put it to 3DS, but the fact that it's not using existing assets probably means that they're more likely to put more effort into upgrading them. So which makes it a better thing over Spirit Train or trying to think of other 3DS stages I thought were good. Find Me, stuff like that. Tomodachi Life. So like, I think of those sort of stages, Magicant, Mute City, Balloon Fight all have a good shot of coming, and Magicant's definitely the best of the bunch.
Yeah, the only thing I would say about Magicant is that I hope they rebalance the Flying Men to a degree, if they do, because the Flying Men, I will say, they're almost as bad as the Yellow Devil at times. They almost make me want to turn Magicant on Omega most of the time that I play it, and I don't want to do that because I really like all the other gimmicks and hazards and things that make Magicant so cool. I don't want to play on a flat version of it, but those Flying Men, man, they can be a bit too much.
Just make them like a little weaker, a little easier to knock away.
Yeah, I think maybe just scale down their power a bit and make them a little easier to knock out, because there's 6 of them, right? I think
there's
I don't think I've even 7. Yeah. So I don't think I've ever even seen all 7 because they're so, they're pretty tough.
Yeah, there's 7 because in the original game there's 7.
Right. No, I was like, is it 6 or 7? I need to turn in my Earthbound fan card. I'm so embarrassed. I got that number wrong.
Well, Ash, you're next, actually.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so actually, another returning stage I'd really like to see come back is Mushroom Kingdom 2 from Melee. I've always loved Subcon. I've always loved that Mario 2. I've always loved everything about that whole stage. I would love to see that come back, even above and beyond Mushroom Kingdom 1. I really think Subcon's cool.
Yeah. No, I want to see. Yeah. So Super Mario Brothers 2, like, that game doesn't get enough love. So
yeah,
if
not
anywhere
even
is gonna,
close.
If anywhere is going to bring it up, I think it's got to be Smash. And yeah, I like Mushroom Kingdom 2. I prefer it to I guess Mushroom Kingdom 1. That's in Melee.
Right.
It's a lot funner to play around in, and Birdo as a hazard is quite cool.
Yeah, I'm surprised Birdo never came back as an assist trophy.
Yeah.
Me too. That almost seems like the idea sells itself. You just have Birdo spit eggs. I mean, that just works.
Alright, so I guess this will be our last round.
Okay.
And for my final stage, I would say I think we need a Mario Party stage.
Oh, that's an interesting choice. I hadn't thought about. Wow, God, there's so many possibilities now to choose from.
Yeah. Mario Party is a huge series. It sells really well. They constantly make sequels for it, and it's not really represented in Smash in any way.
Are we getting a Mario Party 9 and 10 stage? Or a Mario Party 1 through 8 stage?
Everyone in the train.
I'm just trying to think how this stage would work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would have to be a traveling stage.
Yeah, I feel like minigames would have to play some kind of role in it because of how prominent they are meant to be in the series. So...
Yeah.
As long as it's chaotic and random and dice blocks decide everything that happens, I think
it would have to be. I
perfectly.
mean, I guess if I'm basing on my own preferences, I would really want something from Mario Party 6, just because that was the one that was always my favorite. But I mean, you would, I guess if you're Sakurai, you have to pick one from the most popular Mario Party, which in this case would be the first 3, right? Yeah. So
I think either 2
it would
or
have
4.
to be something from the first game, or 4. Yeah, that's true. Oh, is 4 one of the most popular?
Yeah, from what I've heard,
I don't think I realized
4 is really popular. I don't know if it's just my American friends, but they all seem to like 4, and we all seem to like 2. And
I never liked 4.
Everyone likes 3, but no one ever played 3 because it was super rare. So.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, yeah, but I think a Mario Party stage could work too. I mean, there's also plenty of great music to draw from across the series, so that could be a cool stage.
Okay.
Yeah, we just need more Hudson Love.
Yeah.
Alright, Nintendix?
I want to see, and I don't know how many people will like this one, but a Donkey Kong Jr. stage.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like they could do a similar thing like they did with 75 meters, where you could just take one of the levels from Donkey Kong Jr., the first one, and just turn that into a level. And the only reason I really want this is because I want to see some more Donkey Kong Jr. love. Like, he's just disappeared off the face of the earth for the last 20 years, and for one of Nintendo's biggest icons back in the day, I feel that's a bit unfair. He should be returning in Mario Kart or tennis or Smash in some way. And Smash Bros. Has rarely done anything with... Whenever they do classic Donkey Kong stuff, it's always the first game. It's never Donkey Kong Jr. I think he's had some stickers and a trophy in Melee, and that's about it.
I think the pink Donkey Kong is a reference, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that his pink skin's a reference to the old Donkey Kong Jr. and Donkey Kong Jr. Math. But,
yeah, that was confirmed on the 64 website.
Yeah, but like, it's just a Donkey Kong Jr. based level. I think even if you just go and look up the first level of that game, you can already tell it's less awful than 75 meters. Like, there's not nearly as many drop-offs and stuff like that. A lot more platforms. I like them semi-accurate levels, like Mario Brothers as well.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Yeah, Donkey Kong Jr. level. That's what I want.
I don't know. I finally got an NES Classic Edition yesterday, so I was playing through like the first half of the games in order, and of course one of those is Donkey Kong Jr. And I just didn't really have that much fun, and I remember liking it more as a kid, I guess. But I'm like, I don't know if I miss Donkey Kong Jr. all that much, to be perfectly honest. But I wouldn't turn my nose up at the idea either. Like, I mean, I think the idea would be cool. I just think that combined with the fact that I cannot stand 75M, like I hate that stage. I just think those two things together, I'm like, that wouldn't be my first choice, but I certainly wouldn't turn my nose up at it.
Okay, Ash, do you want to give us your last choice?
Yeah, so I'm actually going to go back to the returning stage and I think this is a bit of a controversial choice, but I really want to see Frigate Orphean come back from Brawl. I'm the only person I know who liked that stage, but damn did I love that stage.
It was definitely an interesting stage as far as Metroid ones go.
It was something you wouldn't expect. Yeah. I think I like that it wasn't generic in terms of it wasn't the kind of stage you'd want from Metroid, plus the fact that I can't think of any other stage across the entire Smash series that has that specific gimmick of the stage rotating like that. And I know it's not necessarily fair in terms of balance. I mean, like, Ganondorf mains would never want to play that stage, and I wouldn't want them to. I'm a Mega Man main, so I'm spoiled. I'd be fine. But yeah, I know that it wouldn't be great from like a balancing standpoint, but that didn't matter in Brawl, and I'd say bring it back for Switch. I'd love to see that stage come back.
No, I think that or Brinstar Depths, which is like that other spinning sort of level, would be nice returns. I feel like we'll get Brinstar over them, but I think they're more interesting. Certainly.
Yeah.
Alright,
so let's go ahead and start wrapping this up. So, Ash, where can people find you?
As you said before, I'm with GameXplain, and you can find GameXplain at youtube.com/GameXplain, and I'm one of the GameXplain guys. You can also find me on Twitter, which is just my name, and that is Ash Paulsen, ASHPAULSEN. And if you happen to own any Udon art books, you'll find my name in the back of any Udon art books you own as well. I'm their senior editor, so that's where you'll find me.
Okay, and Nintendex?
Well, you can find me basically on Source Gaming is where I do most of my stuff, mainly the YouTube channel. So, the thing you're listening to right now. So make sure you subscribe and like that, and check through the videos to hear more of me. Otherwise, the website sourcegaming.info, and you can follow me on Twitter at Mr. Nintendo. So
okay.
I post pretty much every day about something gaming related usually. I rarely stray from that sort of area. So yeah, if you enjoy that, give me a follow.
Okay, and I'm Push Dustin. You can follow me by subscribing to this channel, checking out sourcegaming.info, or follow me on Twitter with Push Dustin. And I hope you guys have a great day. The music you heard in this video is from Ben Briggs. You can check out his album by going to Twitch Jam.